Good evening. It's evening where I am anyway. Probably I should be going to sleep, but I thought I'd maybe play a game and record it. This is the game H.E.R.O. It's an acronym, and I probably should have looked up what it stands for, but I didn't, so there you go. The idea of this game, which was a classic back in the day, is to your helicopter-equipped hero, possibly a robot of some kind, a humanoid robot, or possibly just a rescue worker equipped with laser vision and a helicopter backpack, is to descend into the caverns and find the trapped or injured miners. I don't know if they're trapped or not. You have shots, laser eyes. There's our first rescue. You have bombs, and that is about it. I did play this one quite a bit. When I was younger, there was an Atari 2600 version of this, and in fact there was a conversion of this, I think, for most computer systems at the time, video game and computer systems in the 80s. Quite a popular game, I think, ultimately, or converted a lot anyway. Activision, well known back then for Atari things. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, Activision was formed by a group of disgruntled ex-Atari employees, programmers, I think, primarily. So there are a variety of creatures in these caverns. There are walls that you have to get past. You can bomb them, but of course you've got a finite amount of bombs. You can also shoot your way through them, but it takes a significant amount of time. And here we are on level 5. I believe that's meant to be a sort of a lava wall. If you touch a lava wall, you will lose a player. There are lamps lighting up. Well, that wasn't very smart. There are those sort of lanterns. If you collide with or shoot a lantern like that, the level goes into the dark. You get a little bit of light on a level when if you place a bomb, then the fuse gives you a sort of a dim light to see by briefly. And the obstacles and situations get trickier as you get deeper into the game and the levels. Sound effects are actually quite well done and I think iconic. Oh, that was not too bright either. Wow, well, it's hard to talk and play very effectively. Perhaps I'll get better with it with time. Alright, where are we here? Level 7. Something to keep in mind with a lot of these games is that the joysticks back then had a single button. They were the old Atari style joysticks were literally that, sort of a stick-shaped controller with a single button in one of the corners. The upper left, I believe. I'm sure that I have muscle memory probably until the day I'm done for using those old joysticks. I eventually developed quite a light touch that came from playing the Atari 2600 for years and years. Do I have any of those around anymore? I might actually. I should check into that. I'm sure there are converters that you can get to play those old joysticks, and there might even be modern versions of those old controllers. I'm sure someone's done replicas, I would imagine. for me, because I really got very much used to using those back in the late 70s and early 80s. Well, and beyond, really, because that would have been the same kind of joystick I had on my Atari 8-bit computer, which was a 600 XL. Not too much RAM on those guys, I must say. What am I doing here? I think I want to go 16 kilobytes of RAM. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Don't do that. Actually, I find it a little bit challenging to play with the Xbox style gamepad, these old emulators, but it's also a lot easier on my sadly becoming arthritic hands, so the analog sticks are a lot, I find them a lot easier to use these days than and even the D-pads. The old style joysticks might be okay. But I haven't tried to use one in a long time. Level 9. Well, I'm doing okay. That maybe wasn't the smartest thing ever done. Playing H.E.R.O. But I got out of it okay, so there you go. There's a bit of a lag between the time when you push upward on your stick and the time that the helicopter pack will kick in and allow you to move upwards. So if you don't time it properly or time it well, you'll end up in the water or in the lava. Bit sneaky this, and that you can't in a lot of these screens you actually can't go onto them without hitting triggering one of the lanterns. Ooh, that was close. No. And that's down to the joypad and my lack of precision. I could play this with the keyboard and it might work out okay. I'm actually reasonably proficient at playing games with keyboard. And it comes from playing various emulators and things over the years without having good joysticks or joypads to use. I don't know if there was such a thing as a good joystick or a joypad for computers back in the 90s. I do remember they existed, but they weren't, my memories of them is that they weren't very good. Oh, I was almost out of time that time. That level. Level 11. Oh, come on, I was just turning around to face the... You get an extra man every 20,000, and I think it's unlikely that I'm going to get far enough to get an extra player. We'll see.